Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. So I have my crystal ball off to the side. I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit or arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So channel members, you do have a pick a pile that was posted last night, so check that out if you haven't. If you're interested in channel memberships, that link will always be in the description box below. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. I pulled some cards before I am opening up for this message. I just felt like I wanted to do this and get it out of the way, so we're going to go ahead and taking a step aside and allowing Spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay, so some things are happening right now, and this is telling me what this message is about. First off, it's weird for me to pull the Urban Crow Oracle. I don't typically read from this oracle on my channel. For me, crows are very much about spirit, passed on loved ones, ancestors. The heater just kicked on, and you guys probably can't hear what I'm about to describe through the phone, but when people are sitting in this office, they can hear it. It almost sounds like voices are speaking through the heater, and not from the neighbors. It's a effect of the actual heater sound. So this is talking to me about messages, or this is a message or a reading from the other side. And this is the first card that's standing out to me as I'm understanding that. It's this bond. So some of you have a passed on loved one. You know that this passed on loved one is guiding you in some way, or that this passed on loved one is trying to help you. This is a very important reading for somebody. I'm having like that importance pressed upon me. So I'm having a little bit of a constricting feeling right now. One of the things that this passed on loved one is trying to help you with seems to be balance, finding balance inside of your life. And there is an energy inside of this balance. One of the things that's really difficult for us to process at this time is the memory of this loved one, quite possibly memories from our childhood, because houses are being highlighted inside of this card. So for me, that represents family home. There may even be certain things inside of our life in our own current family, if we have a family right now, that is really hard for us to work with or work within. Now, there does seem to be something within this memory and these memories of things that this ancestor or passed on loved one is trying to get you to scavenge for, meaning leaving no stone unturned, because there's something here that we're meant to discover. This passed on loved one seems to be trying to help us do that at this time. You might be having experiences of this passed on loved one coming into dreams, for example, and guiding you or teaching you, or even trying to show you situations that occurred between the two of you in order to try and heal that energy. One of the things that this ancestor is coming through, and I'm just going to refer to them as an ancestor from here on out. It may not be, it might be, for example, a passed on husband or a wife or a friend, but I'm just going to use the term ancestors, because this is a mouthful so far. One of the things that's happening here is I'm seeing that they're trying to display to you that you have these gifts and you have these abilities. They're also bringing these memories and these emotions up to you to analyze as a form of a gift. So it's twofold. On one hand, you may be finding that you're extremely emotional at this time, and it's because these certain energies are coming up to be examined right now as we're scavenging through memories in order to establish a balance as we work through them. On the other hand, however, this person is also bringing forward, hey, you have this gift, you have this ability. Look, this situation, it wasn't you. You were actually doing this, and this is part of your ability set. It's something like that, because your gifts are actually part of your direction. Whoever this person is, it's like they've gained a higher perspective and they're trying to help you in navigating your life. You may be a person, okay, I'm getting a lot of information here, so bear with me. Whoever this message is for, you're a person that you've been very down and out before in your life. This is a very difficult life path that you've chosen for yourself this time, or that you feel that you've been set up for. Obviously, some of us have not chosen this path. It's just a path that's unfolded before us, right? And it feels a little bit like for a lot of people within the collective that this message is for, you've actually faced homelessness, if not once, then multiple times. Others of you've had huge scars inside of the heart space regarding abandonment and neglect. I'm also getting an energy here that for some of you, everyone around you that you love either passes away or goes away. And so this is an energy that is coming through in this reading. This ancestor, whoever it is trying to help their collective heal these types of rifts. You might have one of them, you might have all of them, but this feels like a very hard life path. This hard life path has prevented us from being able to see what we truly have to offer. And recently there's been something within the mind space and within the heart space where the self is trying to align us to a particular goal or a particular destination here with direction. Again, it's coming from the self. We see that those rays coming from that crow, and that crow knows that it wants to get to these trees. The problem is that there's these clouds in front of it. So this is speaking to me about some confusion or some obstacles in the mind, mostly like very Nine of Swords energy, Eight of Swords energy, that is keeping us from reaching this force, this goal that we're trying to get to. One of the things that's beneath us that we're having to work through in the subconscious sphere is, again, this house. It's maybe the way that we were raised, or maybe the family that we find ourselves in. For some of you, again, it might be a current housing situation, it might be current family issues, I don't know. But this seems to be moving us into this area where we're starting to come into alignment with ourselves, and as far as we're understanding that we have to have more curiosity to our approach. So rather than feeling like I don't know what's going to happen and I'm really worried about this, it's almost like we're moving into a mindset of, I'm really curious what is going to happen, right? It's a little bit more positive. So this spirit seems to be trying to help us reach that. Ultimately, what they're trying to do is they're trying to help us put the past into the past, right? With ghosts, they're flying, you see this crow, it's flying over these headstones and is trying to get past the cemetery. There are things in your life that are over, they're done with, and this particular person is trying to help you mend that heart space, maybe allowing certain emotions to come up and helping you face those emotions in the dream space, for example. And these spirits, they help us not only in the dream space but in our daily life as well. If you do any kind of ancestral work, you know that you've experienced that for yourself. Now, I am being told to pull some additional cards on top of this, and so I'm going to move over to the Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle deck. This is almost all set up, and now it's like we're coming to the point now. Okay, with these gifts, I feel very much we are delving into areas of ourself that we're unfamiliar with. This is uncharted territory. When the Dark Lady shows up, this is really about the subconscious. I'll put this card up. I know people always complain about the nudity. When we have this sort of energy, again, that moon, the dream space might be very significant for somebody. And number two, this partnership with the spirit. So when we have this energy coming up, it means that there's energy from the subconscious that's coming up for review. And this is everything that we see with this memory and scavenge and the ghosts and curiosity. It's all coming up. This individual is really trying to help you. I feel that this person, whoever they are, who has crossed over, they're expending a great deal of personal effort and energy and time to help you discover these things for yourself. It's almost as though this is their mission now, or their charge now. It's like part of their lesson is to help you uncover these things. And one of the reasons why I feel that they're doing that is because there's some loose ends that need to be tied, some baggage that needs to be cleared in order for, and I'm going to say this now, Ta'um the poet really represents creativity. It represents our gifts, right? The Ta'um the poet, not only is it poetry, it's immersing ourselves inside of those emotions to really figure out what it is that we carry with us in terms of that creative spark, right? When we have that creative energy, when we have that creative spark, that really is a mirror of the divine energy. Someone here, this spirit is trying to help you follow your passion, basically trying to say it's okay for you, it's safe for you to step up to the plate and follow your passion. Someone here is feeling a call or a push or an urge towards something, and this was something that was rather unexpected. Gotcha is covering his face here, and oftentimes when we have gotcha, this is kind of like a tower moment. Not so much in a negative sense where something gets ripped away, but it's where there's a shock, a surprise. And this is often something that is actually very beneficial for us. We have the 6 and 4 here. So again, it's hinting at this conflict within this family dynamic or within a home. But with the 6 and 4 together, it comes out to that 1, right? That 10, that 1. There's something that's ending. There's something that's fading away. And I feel that it has to do with this. It's the things that are in the past that are better left in the past. And we're moving towards that number 1 energy where we step out as an individual, where we exhibit this sort of ray and illumine our environment with our passions, with things that we want to do, with our gifts, with our talents. Someone here is being told to bring that forward. And you may be feeling this urge at this time. Okay. 3 cards stacked. So 1, 2, and I'll get into that one. 3. Okay. So the first card that comes out here is the Pook. Now this is things that are confusing. Again, there's paradoxes, there's confusions, like I was saying with the clouds on this card, the thing that is preventing us. The thing about that is that even though we may have a lot of narratives, and we may have a lot of fears, and we may have a lot of, oh, I don't know, because if I do this, then this will happen, and if I do this, then this will happen, which is normal, right? That's a normal mode for us to be in until we learn to kind of wrangle that stuff in. We have this. Now, this is the fairy guide. When you have Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle deck, you're supposed to take this card and you're supposed to basically draw in your own fairy guide. Now, mine is extremely mischievous. He likes to hide things, and he's very good with technology, which I am not. So what this is saying to me is that for some of you, you're feeling a calling to step out into something that requires you to, you know, be immersed in technology. So for example, social media, or maybe you have to set up a recording studio to record music, or, you know, any number of things like that. There's something technologically added to whatever this is. It's not just simply writing a book. Maybe it's writing an ebook. So then you have to figure out what website, what platform to use. So there's something like that's coming into this energy for me. Someone here is being called to broadcast something, to put something out there, to use their abilities and their innate gifts and talents to expand upon them and to put them out into the world. I'm just going to say it. I keep hearing the Nike slogan in my head as I'm doing this reading. It's like, just do it, just do it. Like, this is a way for us to put the past in the past. And I will say that there's something about stepping out and like putting that mask down, right? And stepping out with ourselves. And, you know, you don't have to necessarily have to do it the way that everyone is doing it, right? It's about your voice, especially with these crows, right? And this very smoky nature. It's about your voice being heard, the things that you have to say being heard, your self-expression being received. And this is something that you're meant to share with the world, whoever this message is for. Now, with this green woman, she really represents abundance. She represents, you know, I'm not talking about abundance in that sort of cliche way that we tend to talk about it. Well, that's all good and well. I'm talking about it in a way that we are very happy with our life, that we feel like we are expansive, rather than the typical state that a lot of people exist in, which is where they feel very retracted, right? This is an opportunity for you to expand your own energy and expand your own life, to create something very dynamic that is all you and that you can be proud of. But it does require someone here to understand that they're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to put yourself out there. You're allowed to use your voice, right? You don't necessarily have to feel this confusion or this conflict in terms of doing this thing and following this passion. Someone here is very worried about how they're going to be received, and this spirit here is trying to help us find some sort of balance to understand where those insecurities really come from. So I don't know who this message is for, but this is very beautiful energy. I'm being told to take one more card, so I am going to take a card. I'm being told I'm not necessarily reading what the card typically means. I'm reading the imagery. Okay, one more. This ancestor, this spirit, they're very proud of how far you've come. This is something that is very important for them. I'm going to say this, right? Because I have that energy stepping forward, it almost feels like for some of you, this is a parent or sibling who there is a lot of contention with. And this is their way of kind of giving back to you, or trying to smooth those energetic cords that still exist, right? This is, and it's not just for their own selfish gain. This is something that they want to do. It's like they have left behind their, you know, human brain with all those neural pathways that are built up towards, I'm going to call it a war energy. That's usually what I refer to it as. Most of us exist inside of a war paradigm. Fear, you know, anger, betrayal, bitterness, all that stuff. And they've left that behind. They're able to see a bigger picture, and they're understanding that they need to be there for you. And that's why this person seems to be helping you. It's part of, again, it's part of their mission now. It's part of their path now. One of the things that's coming in this is, again, I'm reading this as the dream states, right? I will show this in case that's important for anybody. But this is really what it's speaking to me about. This is reminding me of how our astral bodies leave our bodies when we sleep. And if you see energy, you'll have seen this. And we kind of hover above our bodies. And the moon is the biggest indicator there. That what they're trying to express to me right now is those dream states. So for some of you, this is going to be your biggest indicator that this reading is for you, as you've experienced this loved one in dream states trying to teach you, or trying to guide and help you. There is a lot there's a lot behind this. There's a lot of love behind this. You know, everything from this heart space with those beautiful flowers to this energy of the gifts with these beautiful flowers. It's like this bond that this person feels with you, even though it wasn't necessarily the most healthfully expressed in life, it's a bond nonetheless. And so they're trying to gift you something. They're trying to leave you with something before they move on entirely. So whoever this message is for, I hope this resonates for you. If this does, feel free to like this video, and until next time.